Hey everybody, it's the Middle Age Metalhead. Today we're going to be discussing Mastodon's Touched and Grim. See you in a few seconds. Hey everybody, as I said, we will be discussing Mastodon's Touched and Grim album, which came out late last week. And really can't say enough about this album. It's awesome. I don't even know where to begin. I was really hopeful that this album was going to be good, and so far it hasn't disappointed. I've been listening to it nonstop since I got it on Friday, and I have to say that it's pretty much the quintessential, is that the right word, Mastodon album so far. They really, nailed this one. A lot of this subject matter is about their manager that passed away a few years ago, Nick Johns, and deals with his passing and just grief and regret and a lot of human emotions. I didn't want to take too long on this review. I wrote some notes and just have some general thoughts on a couple of the songs and some highlights. So I'll just go over these notes with you real quick. Overall, I think it's Mastodon's most dynamic album so far. There's really a lot of layering on this. You've got, there's a lot of instrumentation going on in different areas. They went with some keyboard use, which they've done in the past, but it's more prevalent, and just sound effects and just little weird guitar parts or little weird synthesizer parts woven into the structure of the song, of each of the songs. Lyrically, like I was saying, this is definitely their best overall lyrical album so far. The lyrics are all about just the human condition and grieving and loss and trying to move on from just different events in your life. So they're really easy to connect to. We've all had tragedy or loss or just hard times in our life, and so I think there's something that everybody can relate to. It's got, there's 15 songs. I forget what the exact running time is. I think it's like an hour and 15 minutes, but I could be wrong. It's a double album if you buy the album version or a CD. I have to, one of my notes too is that the singing on this album has definitely kicked it up a notch. Brian has definitely come into his own. He's like the Don Henley of metal right now. He's does a really good job of taking over some of the singing on this. Let's see, just a few notes about the songs themselves. The song Dagger, that definitely overall the music and the structure of it, it sounds a lot like the music off of the Jonah Hex soundtrack. They did the music for that soundtrack about 10 years ago or so when that movie came out. And that one almost sounds like a leftover composition off that album. And I don't mean that in a bad way, it just has that kind of vibe to it. Had It All, lyrically, that's a really great song. That song has a heavy Alice in Chains vibe to it. And the solo on it, I don't know if that's, if Brent did that one. It doesn't sound like one of his solos. It sounds like maybe that was a Bill solo or something. I'm not really sure. I've been trying to find out who did the solo on that. I don't have the album, so I only have the download, so I don't have the liner notes to see if it mentions who did that solo exactly. So the album ends on really a 1-2 punch. Gobblers of Dregs and Eyes of Serpents. Those are two really, really great songs. They're complex. They have a lot of different parts in the songs themselves. And the Gobblers of Dreg has a great line in it. It says, waiting for the sun to rise so I can say my last goodbyes. So that right there just tells you, lyrically where this album is at. And I have to say, Eyes of the Serpents, that might be my favorite Mastodon song ever. It's just one of those songs that really grabs you, and it's a complete song from beginning to end. It just has that, it like makes the hair on your arm stand up type feeling to it. I mean, there's certain songs that to me just are like, wow, that, I could listen to this over and over and over and over again. Kind of like, Metallica, Master of Puppets, Iron Maiden's, like Power Slave. I'm talking about the songs. Power Slave, songs like that that are just, I don't know, it's like musical written perfection or something. And there's, on that, at the end, there's a slide solo that I really like. And it's not a heavy slide effect to it that he's using. I assume it's Brent that's doing that. It's just kind of, it's almost like you can't tell that he's using a slide, but it's definitely there, and it just really adds a great vibe to the ending. And then the last song, Gigantium, it has kind of an uplifting feel to it, and musically, lyrically, it's not quite as uplifting, but it I don't know, it just has a vibe of like, hey, everything's going to be okay, and really ends everything on a high note after such an emotionally kind of draining album. And there's an orchestration on the end of that sounds really good as well, and it's a great way to close out the album. But anyway, I highly recommend this album. I give it a 5 out of 5 for sure. I can't say enough about it. I was hoping that the album would be good, especially with 15 songs. But there's no filler on this album. Each song is good and unique, and has a good vibe, and like I was saying earlier, is varied and complex, and takes you on a roller coaster ride. So anyway, that's all for this review. I didn't want to make it too long. I haven't even honestly been listening to the new Monolord album that also came out last week, just because I'm listening to Mastodon so much. But I hope to get to that later this week, and I will do a review on that. I've listened to it a few times, and it's also very good. It has a lot of good riffs on it. But right now I'm just kind of in Mastodon mode. So anyway, all right, guys, that is all. Stay metal, and we will talk to you later.